Hey, what's going on YouTube? Welcome to Post Cologne. Today we're taking a look at Lattafa Pride's La Collection d'Antiques 1505. Alright, so La Collection d'Antiques 1505 is from the House of Lattafa. It's from their Pride line series. It's an eau de parfum concentration, and you can pick this sucker up for between $35 and $40 at various discounters. Links are gonna be down in the description if you decide you want to check this one out. Also have some coupon codes. Save yourself $5, 5% off various discounters if you decide you want to shop with them. Presentation on this, first of all, I'm not going to say the whole name throughout this video. I'm just going to refer to it as the 1505 because the La Collection d'Antiques is too much of a mouthful. Presentation on this, pretty straightforward. A cardboard box has this nice kind of looking antique stopwatch on the front, name of the fragrance, all the necessaries, and the hologram on the back. But there is another box inside of this typical cardboard box, revealing a nice kind of gold shimmery, kind of a thick plastic. It's not a cardboard, it's got kind of a bit of a plasticky feel going on to it, and it does open up like so to reveal our fragrance bottle sitting inside this nice kind of fuzzy podium, which is really tight. So overall, box presentation on this, pretty nice. Bottle presentation on this has this kind of embedded, again, pocket watch, this antique pocket watch sitting on the bottle. Typical kind of Lattafa Pride, their new line of bottle presentations going on this with a nice matte black. Semicircle cap on this with Lattafa logo and name of the fragrance house right there. And it is kind of a mix of some metal and some plastic, but more of kind of a metal, nice thick and heavy style of cap on this. And the atomizer on this bad boy is pretty good. Nice fat puffs, good long sprays on this will definitely get the job done. So overall for $35, $40 for a Lattafa Pride series fragrance, nice presentation. So if you were wondering what Lattafa Pride's 1505 smells like, you've come to the right place, because I'm about to tell you. Some of the notes listed in this are a black cherry, saffron, osmanthus, olibanum, amyris, balsam, styrax, cypriol, and guaiac wood. So let me tell you what I get from this fragrance. In the opening, you get hit with that black cherry first and foremost. It is a very kind of sweet black cherry, has a little bit of a sour touch to it, almost a little tartness to it. But it does come across almost a little medicinal, kind of has that kind of cherry cough syrup sort of vibe, a little synthetic, and might be a little off-putting for some people, but it does kind of fade away and kind of smooth out after a minute or two. So don't let the initial opening with that black cherry kind of scare you off, because it does kind of settle down a little bit. It is mixed in with that saffron, so you get kind of a nice leathery saffron that works in with that black cherry, but again, that black cherry is very prominent in the opening. But it does soon sit back and it gives way to some of that osmanthus, so you get this nice kind of, this green florally touch with that kind of apricot fruity sweetness that you get from an osmanthus. Mixes really well and kind of tones down that black cherry note. And then you get some of those olibanum, that's that amyris in the mid that kind of adds this green touch to it. A little bit kind of a smoky, churchy incense kind of vibe, more of a sweet incense than anything that kind of wraps around those sweet accords, as well as that little kiss of that saffron. But after a few minutes, this surprisingly really takes a turn and it starts to get deeper and darker and richer, and a lot more woods start to come out. So about the midpoint of this fragrance, that black cherry is really kind of sat in the background. That osmanthus is still there. You're still getting hints of that, but it's really about the woods that are in this fragrance. And it's just absolutely a gorgeous wood medley that comes through. The guaiac wood that comes through with this. There's like a smoky, rich, almost like hickory smoked style of woods that comes through in the base of this one. Still has like that little hint of that black cherry, a sweetness from that osmanthus, but some really nice spices come through. That olibanum kind of adds that smoky touch to it, and just the medley of woods that are in this one. That little kind of like fresh, sharp spiciness that you get from cypriol kind of elevates the balsamic nature of this. And through, it's just a beautiful, deep, rich, woody, masculine, kind of bold, woodsy style of fragrance. Little green touches on the side with just that little hint of that sweetness, just kind of softening the edges and adding a little bit of character to it. So through and through, if you're looking for a nice, deep, rich, woody style of dry down in a fragrance, you're definitely going to enjoy this one. Very unique scent profile in this. Like I said, it has like kind of that balsamic-y resins that work its way in with the kind of fresh, spicy woods, and just kind of like an aromatic kind of light feel that works its way in, that kind of softens the woods, gives it kind of like a really kind of fresh, spicy sort of vibe going on to it. You definitely want to check this one out. So when it comes to the performance of Lattafa Pride's 1505, The projection on this is moderate to mild. It doesn't push off very hard. It is more of kind of an intimate, kind of close encounter style of fragrance. First 90 minutes, you might get an arm's length, but it does settle in fairly close to the skin after that 90 minutes. So it is kind of a draw you in style of fragrance, kind of more of a cozy, intimate style of fragrance when it comes to that projection. So not the greatest projection. It's okay, but it's definitely on the moderate side. But when it comes to longevity, I get great longevity off this. I'm getting 10 plus hours off my skin before it really fades into a skin scent. And I'm finding this lasts on clothes for well into the next day for sure, and even a little bit after I kind of wash that shirt, you're still getting hints of those kind of deep, rich, smoky woods that come through. And so, like I said, the longevity on this is fantastic. So it is a very intimate style of fragrance in terms of just close encounters, but it's gonna last you for a long time. So when it comes to the where and when, I think Lattafa Pride's 1505 would be most appropriate. Definitely a fall and winter style fragrance. The deep, resinous, balsamic woods, that kind of smoky hickory sort of vibe that's going on to it, with just those little kisses of that sweetness from the black cherry and the osmanthus, those green touches as well. Definitely think it lends itself to the fall and those winter seasons. Just has that cozy, inviting, warm, sophisticated sort of vibe going on to it that I think would be great for the cooler weather. In terms of occasions, you could wear this casually, but this is not necessarily a dumb reach style of fragrance. There is a uniqueness to this that doesn't lend itself to, you know, being a casual wear fragrance, or the first thing you would go for in terms of wearing a casual fragrance. Not a dumb reach. It does pull compliments, but from, you know, a select few, I would suppose. This is kind of an acquired taste for some people, I would imagine. This is great for those date nights though, and those formal occasions. Has that mystique, has that sophistication, has that kind of masculine, bold woods that are in that dry down that just lends itself to a great date night fragrance, as well as kind of that fancy formal occasions, and a great evening wear sort of fragrance, again, with that kind of mystique that comes with it. This, I have pulled plenty of compliments with this. The lady I'm dating right now is absolutely obsessed with this fragrance. This is one of her favorite fragrances I've ever worn. So it does work. It's just, again, it's a very unique scent profile that not everybody is going to enjoy, but for those who do enjoy it, are really going to enjoy it. So like I said, not your best casual wear style of fragrance, but could be a great date night and formal occasion one. So my overall thought on Lattafa Pride's 1505, this is a really nice fragrance. This really kind of caught me by surprise. I did forget to mention, which I'm not gonna go back and refilm it, but in the initial part where I was describing the scent, this is not quite a clone of the Tom Ford Cherry Smoke or the Lost Cherry. It's in that genre, and there are definitely some overlaps with those two fragrances, but I wouldn't say it's a direct clone, maybe a twist on the Cherry Smoke from Tom Ford with some hints of that Lost Cherry. It's definitely in that neighborhood, but with this one, I find it kind of goes its own direction, and I really enjoy that about this fragrance. It kind of tricked me. I thought this was gonna be just a really cherry heavy fragrance from that opening, and that would last in all the way to the dry down. But that shift and that transition down to that rich, smoky, hickory, balsamic, resiny style of woods that comes out in that dry down really caught me off guard, and I really enjoy it. It's just got that nice mystique to it, that boldness, that kind of gentlemanly sort of vibe going on to it. And I just really enjoy the scent profile. It has that uniqueness to it that kind of sets you apart from other people, and it's not your kind of typical boring, easy to reach for compliment beast styles of fragrance. If you're looking to kind of just switch things up a little bit, this is definitely a great fragrance for that. Performance, like I said, I'm really happy about the longevity. The projection I think could be a little bit better, but for the type of scent DNA that's going on with this one, I'm not too surprised nor disappointed with the kind of projection on this. Maybe just a hair better. Just a little bit more of a push would make this an even better fragrance, but longevity, I am quite happy, and I think this is just a great fall and winter style fragrance for those more kind of special occasions where you'd be going on a date night, formal occasion, or just an evening out style of fragrance. So overall, I am quite happy. I think this is a bit of a hidden gem within the Lattafa Pride series, and I definitely think it's worth checking out. That's Lattafa Pride's La Collection d'Antiques 1505. And I want to hear from you guys. What's another Lattafa fragrance that you want to see me do a full review on? Comment down below. I love hearing from you guys. I love getting your different recommendations, your hidden gems, different tastes and scent profiles. Appreciate you. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see y'all next time.